I don't know who needs to hear this, but get your driver's license, sis. Okay. Hi everyone. I hope you are doing well. You're taking care of yourself. You're taking care of your mental health. So I decided to do this video now because I've been job hunting for the past 6 months, almost 6 months, and almost like 80% of job adverts, job posts will require a driver's license or will ask you if you have a driver's license. And so, I mean, so I went on Google and there's a little, not debate, but like a debate where people are like, but how is a driver's license going to affect my ability to do the job? And I mean, it may or it may not, like I'm gonna work in an office or I'm going to work in a laboratory or wherever. I don't need to have a driver's license. But however, apparently when I looked up on Google, it says when applying for a job, a driver's license also demonstrates that you have initiative, you've gone out and organized something for yourself. Okay, so a driver's license will increase your chance of getting a job. A driver's license will increase your chance of getting a job because it gives the employer the notion that you have reliable transport and you have means to get to work, because employers are now trying to advise people to get their own transport, uh, 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 own reliable transport and driver's license, because employers don't want to hear there's a strike. There was a taxi strike. There was a xenophobic strike. Taxis aren't operating. There was a lockdown, or they were looting. Taxis aren't operating. So more and more companies are trying to move away from that. But I mean, realistically, not everybody can afford to have their own car. But me, I'm just saying to you, if you are young and you're watching this, get a license. Get yourself a driver's license. Okay? Okay. Okay. So here's what you're gonna do. You're 16 years old, you need your license. You need to be 16, okay? You need an ID, your ID. Now they have smart cards. You can use obviously a smart card. You need proof of residence, and yeah, I think you're also going to pay a fee. I don't know how much it is. I really don't. I think at that time, was it not 60 rand? I don't know the price. I don't know, but you need your proof of residence and you need your ID to go apply for a learner's license. You need a learner's license first before you can get your driver's license. Okay, cool. So you need your learner's license. You need to be 16. Firstly, to get a learner's license, 16 by the like you need to be 16 at the time of application, not turning 16 in a few months. And so you're gonna apply for it, and then you're gonna write a test. And you're going to write, you're gonna need this is your friend, this is your best friend. Mine is in an old state. Yeah, K53. Get this book. Mine is in an old state because I bought this 3-4 years ago. I don't know. I think it's sold at CNA. You can get it at PNA as well. Yeah. So you get this book. This book has all the rules of the road and all of that. And then at the back of the book there's like a test sample, like it's like a mock test that's gonna look similar to your learner's your learner's test that you're going to write. So you study this book. You study this book like you're studying your life science textbook. You study it like you studying your chemistry textbook. You study this book. You take notes, okay? Because that test is tricky. That test is not there to test your smartness or ukuthi uhlakaniphe kangakanani. Cha, that test is testing can you remember things, and it's a multiple choice question. So they're gonna trick you. They're gonna trick you out. You must read the questions carefully, okay? And I think it's 3 sections, and that test. I think it has 3 sections. I wrote mine a while ago, so I can't really remember. Okay, so if you pass your learners, if you don't pass your learners, don't be discouraged. You can always go back again and then pay the fee again and then rewrite it. The questions are going to remain the same. They don't change the test. The test remains the same over and over again. So and most people wrote this test like 2-3 times. I wrote it twice because I failed it the first time, and then I went and I rewrote. I memorized the questions from before, and then yes, and then I wrote it again. You're going to so once you pass it, you're going to get your learner's license. It's like a A4. And you're gonna have it for 24 months, which is 2 years. And then in that 2 years period, you're allowed to drive using your learner's license. However, you can only drive with someone sitting next to you who has the same code license. So if you have a code 8 learner's license, you can drive with supervision of someone who has a code 8 license. Yeah, but you can't have passengers at the back because you're a learner. You can't be driving around with passengers. We don't want problems. We don't want accidents. Okay, so you can drive with it for 2 years. Within that 2 years, I'm so sorry, the video cut off. Anyway, I was saying, once you write the test and then you pass it, you're gonna get your A4 sized learner's license, and then you can drive with a supervision, a person with the same code license. Okay, and then another thing to add is that in that 24 months, please apply for your license, your driver's license, and get tested within that 24 months, because once it expires, you have to start the process again and write another test again. So within that 24 hours, make sure you apply for your driver's license, okay? And then the types of codes that you would like to apply for. And I'm talking to a 16-year-old or someone who's 18, 17, who's about to get their license. Oh, by the way, you need to be 18 to get your driver's license. You need to be 18, okay? At the time of application, you need to be 18 for a driver's license. So yes, I'm talking to someone who's 18. I'm not talking about someone who's applying to drive those big trucks or PDP, or no. I'm talking about you, 18-year-old you. Okay, the different codes. There's a code 8. A code 8 is for smaller vehicles. Okay, so code 8, code 10. Code 10 is for you can drive a small vehicle. You can also drive a small truck. And then there's code 14 for the big trucks. And then there's PDP, which is for passengers, like taxi drivers and stuff like that. So now, a code 8, most people prefer a code 10. I'm not saying choose a code 10. I'm saying some people prefer a code 10 because the testing, when you're testing, like when you're there at the driving testing, it's easier than a code 8, because code 8, they test your parallel parking, they test your parallel parking is side parking, they test your reverse parking, they test your U-turn. So you need to know those things when you applying for the code 8. Code 10, I think they're only going to test a reverse, and steep hill and all of that. But code 8, they test everything: the parkings, the reverse, the steep hill, how you drive on the road, all of that. Okay, so code 8 is much more complicating. So code 10 is less complicating, and you can drive a bigger truck. Okay, and then yeah, code 14 is for big trucks. I don't know if you'd need a code 14 if you're like 18. But anyway, so yeah, that's it. Once you get your driver's license, once it arrives and you get it, and now you can drive, this one you can drive on your own. You don't need supervision, because now they've tested you on the testing grounds, they tested you on the roads, they can see what's okay. Oh yeah, Sabanza. Oh yeah, driver, I mean. You're gonna have it for 5 years. You're gonna have it for 5 years, and you're gonna need to renew it every 5 years. Okay, so my advice to you, my overall advice is, go to a driving school. Do not let your dad or your brother or your Zbanban teach you to drive, because it took me, I think, a good 2-3 years to learn how to drive, because my cousin was teaching me, my dad was teaching, my mom was teaching me at some point, and I was like, I need a professional. So go to a driving school and get a professional who's going to teach you how to drive properly, who's going to teach you the rules of the road and the parallel parkings and all of that. Okay, but PS, this is a little secret from me to you: some of the things that they teach you at driving school are not realistic. You'll see when you start driving that, I mean, really, nobody drives like this. Nobody has time to drive like this, but it's very helpful. So yeah, my advice is go to driving school. Anyway, thank you for listening to my pep talk again. I make these videos whenever I get this idea in my head. Like, I have conversations in my head with myself, and then I'm like, no man, I need to share this, or I need to write this down. So I had this idea, and I was like, I need to share it with someone, and that's why I made this video. Bye. Take care of yourself and your mental health, and stay well, stay safe.